Hey, what's going on, everybody? Boilon here, back for another video on Marvel Strike Force. My apologies for not getting this video out earlier. I did a little bit of drinking last night, so I'm a bit more recovered this morning now. I wanted to do a video on the event that came out on Thursday night, but I just didn't have it in me. So we're doing a video here today. Normally, what I would call is the pre-blog video, but some of this stuff I've already talked about in the last video about data mines. We have Century City coming back next week. That'll be in the blogs as well. But I also want to talk about the upcoming Omega raid, Annihilation raids Omega, and their rewards differences, because those are out in the game now. I also want to talk about the best path forward for the existing event milestone King of the Zone, which also went live. And to my surprise, it is an 11-day event versus a 7, or sometimes I guess they run those 3 to 4 days as well. Well, let's talk a little bit about Lady Bullseye, because she's going to become available today, and my thoughts about her and whether or not you should unlock her. So if you're ready to go, everybody, let's boil this down. Oh, I lost my button. I'm still here. Okay. King of the Zone. Right, let's start here on the event milestone that went live. So this is here, and it's going to be 11 days, and you're going to get points, the free-to-play points anyways, through battling in raids. You're going to get 132,000 points. This should be pretty easy, right? Like, I picked this up in one day, like 21k. You can probably clear it in, like, I don't know, like 6 days or something, 6 or 7 days. Shouldn't be that difficult. If you do have Zombie Kestrel unlocked, which you should before the end of this event, right, or before the Zombie Kestrel event goes away, you should have a unlock, right? 45 shards. It's not that difficult. I actually got a 3 yellow. I was pushing a little bit, so I managed to pick that up. But you'll get 10,000 points here. Also, I do want to say that the web claims are extremely valuable. They're worth 5,000. So far, they're worth 5,000 points per free claim, which is quite significant, because that's actually worth about 1,000 power cores. So if you really think about it, like if you miss out on a web claim, you're basically down 1,000 power cores for the day. So make sure you pick that up, because over the course of 10 or 11 days, that's going to be like 10 or 11,000 power cores worth of points, which is quite significant. So we're going to talk about power cores and how you should use them. Also, some of the rewards in here, you are going to pick up some Swordmaster. If you even pick up this first Swordmaster Diamond Orb fragment, that would be pretty good, because that's going to guarantee you, of course, at least a 1 Diamond Swordmaster for when he does come out. I mean, it's actually like a very slim gap here between milestone 13 and 14, so there should be no problem, because the gap between this is like 1,000 power cores, like 1,200 power cores or something. It's very low. So it'll be very easy to do that. Heck, probably getting the second one's probably not that difficult either. Now, what's interesting though, I find this really weird, right? That there's a 7 red Blastar in here. I guess you could just buy your way to it if you didn't have it from the previous event. But Blastar shards are done for now, so you wouldn't, if you didn't have 7 yellow, you wouldn't have got it anyways. I don't know, kind of weird to have that included in there. As far as there's a lot. Like, holy cow, there's a lot of milestones on here. Look at all these Swordmaster Diamond Orbs. Like, you don't even need that many. Like, I guess if you're fishing for 3 diamond, but you're not getting bonus points for this, because you're getting bonus points for Lady Bullseye Diamond Ore fragments. But anyways, let's take a look at the offers here for that. Obviously, you can spend your way to the top. And actually, there's interesting combination packages here for Zombie Kestrel as well. If this is new, maybe it's going to reset every single day, because you can see that the timer is just for the end of this reset period, but they might just keep coming out, that you might be able to fast track your way and do a combo buy, right, of Zombie Kestrel shards for and points, right? So 25,000 points. This would be worth about 5,000 power cores. So 5,000 power cores and 20 Zombie Kestrel shards would get you 25 bucks, 25 Canadian, right? So I don't know, was that 20 US? I don't think it's, I don't think buying Zombie Kestrel shards is a good deal, but if you're someone who really wants to do both, then have at it, right? There's some other stuff around here, actually, for the same amount of points, 20,000 points plus this Lady Bulls. So this would be 30,000 points for 25 Canadian, which over here was 25,000, right? So it's 5k less, but you get the Zombie Kestrel shards. Anyways, as far as the power core offers are, these are obviously the only two here, and I want to bring up this post here that I made before I went to bed while I was still drunk. But I did some calculations on the offers here. So basically, you're going to get 7.44 points per power core if you buy the Diamond Orb, which is the Lady Bullseye Diamond Orb here, which means it's not a good value. So you're going to get 10,000 from this, 1,000 from this is 11,000, plus 4,500 times 5. But divided by the power cores, you're getting a ratio of 7.44. Pretty sure. And then you're obviously, just like some of the other events, you're going to get more points for just buying the raw milestone points. So you get 12.5 points per core by doing the milestone points. So that's these, right? Because you're getting 6,000, you're spending 800 times by 5. That's 10,000 points, basically, that you're getting for 800. And because I do plan on chasing this leaderboard, I'm just going to buy a couple for now. I think what I would need to see is basically where the milestone points land essentially by the time the raid points are done, which would be most likely in about 6 or 7 days. When people max that out, we'll kind of be quote unquote near the top as far as where points are. So we'll kind of know how much value that points are going to have in terms of the leaderboard. But I know I'm going to be doing this anyway, so just for the purposes of it, I'm just going to buy a couple here right now. Now, if you do want to spend your power cores on other things, like I'm not recommending this, of course, but Hellcat, Lady Bullseye, you will get 5 points per core for raw spending doing it that way. Or maybe you're gonna next week, maybe you're gonna core refresh the store when Hellcat goes into the sigil store, like I mentioned in my previous video, and you'll get at least a little bit of points for that, right? Like freebie points for that. So hey, there's that as well. But the ratio for just doing raw points is not anywhere good as if you were to buy like 2.5 times better, literally, if you're buying this offer, which sucks, right? I don't like dumping cores just for the sake of milestone points, but at the end of the day, you know, we can argue about whether Blue Marvel is worth it or not. But again, at the end of the day, that's like the only, I'm not even talking about Blast Star Diamonds, but it's really going to be the only way that you're going to push further on Purple 5 Ions, because the drip that we're going to be getting through Alliance War and things like this is very slim. It's not really a significant portion of Purple 5. We have 2 months. You know, I would like to at least get a 4 red, would be great if I can. I don't even know if that's going to happen. Maybe I'll just land on a 3 red Blue Marvel. We'll end up seeing. But either way, you know, there's a big difference between, I guess, like top 2,500 and like when you go way back this way, I suppose, given how slow the drips are going to be. So let me know in the comments down below what you plan to do with your power cores and how you're going to be approaching the King of the Zone. We do have Lady Bullseye being unlocked today as well. You're already about 25 shards your way through that, so if you did want to core for that, have at it. But I do want to talk about the Omega raids that are coming out and why I don't really think there's any rush for Lady Bullseye, because she's the first person to the team, and as raid teams go, you are not going to be raiding with them until all 5 characters are out. I guess where there might be some value, depending on the player, is that you could put Lady Bullseye into Thunderbolt if you still need to build this team for your raids. Then you can kind of slaughter into the Ghost slot. I'm not exactly sure, to be honest. I haven't been following things there because my Thunderbolts are built up. Maybe someone who has been following better can post down below about where Lady Bullseye fits into the Thunderbolts, maybe on the raid side of things. I don't know if anyone's talked about this. Anyways, I mean, that's more, I think, more important for people who haven't built those other characters yet, that maybe you can just get away and skip Ghost or something and then just plug Lady Bullseye in there. But I don't think there's any rush to unlock her. So the other thing is that we don't know if Lady Bullseye is going to be 2 or 3 weeks for the Sigil store. So for all of the Brimstone characters, it was 3 weeks. I don't know if they're continuing 3 weeks for every single character. But maybe they'll announce that in the blog or not, or we'll just find out naturally, right? You know, my kind of thoughts on this is that I think when you're post Xavier, it's very easy to get shards for characters now, in my opinion. Or when it was 2 weeks out, it was extremely easy. Like my Fantastic Four MCU were 7 yellow before they even became. I mean, technically they're not even farmable yet. They're in the character store here that you can find them. But I had them at 7 yellow before they even dropped in here. And I have a 7 yellow Azazel, although I skipped the other characters, and I'm kind of well on my way of my Insidious 6. Right? Like I'm in a pretty good position. So my point is that the shards were not that hard to get, you know, when you're post Xavier, and I think that was a problem for Scopely and why they pushed it back to 3. Hell, I would not be. I'm trying not to plan ideas, but I would not be surprised if it became worse than 3 weeks out to go into the sigil store, or the whatever chapter currency store, right? So there's that. The other thing I want to talk about is the Omega raids. Now, make sure you have your launch timer set. So for your leaders or your captains, make sure you bug them about this. That basically when this goes away, then you need to go into the auto launch schedule, and this one down here, the third one, you can edit this, and we can edit to Annihilation Rate Omega, and then change it to difficulty 9, probably, because you don't have the full the full Immortal Fist team, and then schedule it. Now, that's, you can see it down here. It's great. This stuff, I mean, it shouldn't auto launch. This should just go away. This is the original one now. This should go away, and so it should just be this. So it should launch on time. But what I want to talk about is this stuff, right? This is the kind of the restrictions and stuff for difficulties 8, 9, and 10. Obviously, we don't have a full immortal weapon. So if you were to launch difficulty 10, you'd be kind of fucked because you wouldn't be able to clear 8 and 9, and therefore you wouldn't be able to clear the boss, no 10. So there'd be a lot, you would be kind of, you'd be screwing your alliance, I guess. No, literally nobody can clear it. Like, I really don't think you can 3-man this with Lady Bullseye. So we're basically going to be running difficulty 9 so that we can still use the Night Stalker's team. Now, I want to kind of compare the orb fragments, the gear tier 20 orb fragments, because really that's the major change that's going on in this raid. And I broke this down basically right here, right? Just so people are aware what you're getting right now in Annihilation Raid D9, the solo raids. You know, there's 7 regular nodes, including the final boss. And so you get 430 orb fragments here times 7. And then there's those 2 optional nodes, right? Where you can either put it at D8 for gear tier 19 requirement, or D9 for the G20, which was a total bait and switch trap. Like, this was the biggest trap ever. Like, you don't need a G20, your raid teams. And the improvements on the fragments were extremely marginal. So 345 at D8 and 430 at D9. Like, literally a difference of 85. It was garbage. Anyways, that's a grand total of 3,700 orb fragments here, or 3870 if you have those optional nodes cleared at D9, right? So this is just shy of 2 orbs if you do everything. So this is, keep this in mind, because I want to use this as a metric as to what we're going to be getting for the Annihilation Raid Omega, which you can see the rewards now in-game. I think some of the content creators may have covered this as well, but I just wanted to kind of just point this out here because I think it's important. And actually, I'll be honest, this is my first time looking at it. So I haven't looked at anyone else's. If you go into the rewards, there is no, actually, just to point out, there is no node rewards, I think. There's 0 node rewards, so nothing on there, because I guess that was the major difference between the normal raid and the Omega raid, was that, you know, you could do this and as a team, I suppose. So let's go into the rewards. And the breakdowns are different. We have 10%, 50%, 85%, and then 100%. So previously, I thought they were like 10, 40, 70, 100. Maybe this changed at some point, but I thought that was in my head, that what I thought was true. So let's take a look. 85% is 3,400. So this is worse than the 3,700 that you're probably already getting at on the original raid. Now, keep in mind, this is D9, not D10. So we'll take a look at that. But as far as D9 goes, it's actually worse. Now, 100% is 4,000. And this is like barely any different. So you have to get the 100%, which means if anyone in your alliance fucks around and doesn't clear the node for whatever reason, you're getting less than you would if you had soloed it on the Annihilation Raid D9. Now, we can still launch the Annihilation Raid D9, right? I think that's still the same. We'll go back and take a look, because they're still having the normal raid available. But my point is that basically you're getting worse rewards right now when this launches later on today, unless you get 100% collectively. Okay, I almost want to just run, maybe the sigils are better, I don't know. You know, the only thing that's really important here is the Armory G20s. I don't know if the other stuff is really that much of an improvement. Now, if we go to difficulty 10, because that's also important, we go here and we click on the rewards. Let's just jump to 85, right? Okay, we have 4,080, but I'll be blunt, like, even that, from the 3,700, this is like a 10% increase at most, which is not very good. And 100% is at 48. Oh, okay, so this is a little better, but we're not going to be seeing this for like at least a month, right? Let's just say maybe more, for free-to-play players to have whoever the last Steel Serpent, I don't know who the last release is, but you know, until they get them unlocked, it's going to be like over a month from now. So 4,800 from 3,700. Okay, so we have an increase of 1,100, which is less than a third. I think a third would have been 1,200-ish or so. So we're talking about a 30% increase, which is not nothing, but I guess it just still feels low, right? Like, it's an increase of half an orb per day, which, okay, fine, is 15 orbs a month, and that's 60 G20 pieces. But it just feels at the period that we're in with Gear Tier 20, like they could have done a bit more. This is like, how many times have they re-released this raid? This is like the 3rd Annihilation raid in this structure, and it's not even that high if you ask me. Like rip open the band-aid. G20's been out for so long now. Like we're gonna be coming up into like G21 in fucking March probably. So like at this point, like just come on, just really open the floodgates here. I think this is kind of crap, but you know, I would have liked to see like 6,000 would have been better, a doubling of what we have right now. Like yeah, literally, I would have liked to see about a doubling, maybe 6 7,000, like something like that. I think that would have been more appropriate for the time period that we're in the era that like it just doesn't feel like it's that big of a deal anymore. So or shouldn't be a big deal anymore. I can't imagine they're monetizing Gear 20 that much anymore, especially since it's in the chapter store as well. Scopely doesn't usually do the right thing is what I meant to say there. So I'm actually thinking of going back to the original raid. It doesn't really seem that different, and it's less stressful. Everyone has their own lane as well, and it's very easy to organize, right? So like I'm actually thinking about going back to the regular one. Now in here, I don't know if I can actually properly, yeah, because that's not there. But like I don't know if I can properly look at the nodes because I can't because it's not currently launched. But you can see here vigilantes. It's the same structure. Actually, oh wait, no, it should be a different raid. Is it that one up here? Like it should contain. Did they not update? I thought they updated it with the Immortal Wet. Is it this one here? Like I thought they. Yeah, they still have the bonus nodes. It's still Hellfire. Weird. Still okay. So I don't know what's going on with the new nodes. Is it the same? I don't know. I'm not sure. I guess I'll launch Omega to start today, and then after that, I we'll see how it goes, and I might return back to the normal raid right until everyone gets the Immortal Fists, and then we can do Omega D10. I suppose. I'm just kind of a bit underwhelmed with the changes to the raids, but I'm also very curious what your guys' thoughts are in the comments down below. I think that's it. That's really all I wanted to talk about here about these two things. I think it's important though. And otherwise, we have Century City that's going to be coming next week. The full Brimstone team will be available, quote unquote available, if you have your sigils saved up that you want to purchase Hellcat out of here. Keep that in mind as well. We didn't talk too much about, oh, sorry, Lady Bullseye. I don't really have much to say, and maybe I kind of put it in here as well, is that she's not worth coring. Do not core for Lady Bullseye, in my opinion. If you do want to make further progress on Blue Marvel, just buy those milestone points directly, which again sucks, feels bad. But Lady Bullseye on her own is going to do absolutely nothing. You might as well just wait. By the time she is in the chapter store, some of the other characters, probably the 4th and 5th character, will be coming out at that point, and it'll be better to have her then than it will have her now. She's going to do absolutely nothing for your roster. Just now, unlocking her today. So, okay, that's it. That's it for today. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, everyone. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys all on the next video.
And if you like this video, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and you'll be greatly helping out the channel. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys on the next one.